is Premier Sports Fan Center. My name remains Egbenwe. Don't forget to subscribe. Alpha. It's okay. This is a strong Man U fan. Versus Zurich. A win for both, automatic qualify. A draw, also qualify. Let's go hear what the fans have to say. This is Premier Sports Fan Center. My name remains Egbenwe. Please don't forget to subscribe. The second match of the Group C encounter. It is the match between Zambia versus Spain. Earlier on today, Japan defeated Costa Rica to remain top of Group C with 6 points, and Spain having 3 points remain second. And Costa Rica remained third with a -3 goal, and Zambia fourth with -5 goal. This is another encounter, another deciding moment for Zambia. Will they bounce back? Will they redeem their image after losing 5-0 to Japan? Well, I'm not alone to talk about all the live issues. I'm with the great ones, the ones who talk about football, who analyze football the way you understand it. And in my far left is Shegun the Shegelu.
Good morning, Solomon. Good morning, Yemi. And good morning to all football fans. Good morning from in Nigeria and Africa. Let me just put it that because, people are watching us around the world, so we don't really know the time zone where they're watching from. Because right now in New Zealand, it must be around 7:30 p.m. That's talking about in the evening. This match between Spain and Zambia, well, I don't really see anything they are redeeming here today. Because if I say they are redeeming anything, that is Spain with the first chance of the game. When we say when they are redeeming anything, then maybe that will be an offset in this game. Well, you look at the Spanish side; it's a very good side when it comes to football because it's team dominated by Real Madrid and Barcelona side. We know how much Barcelona has dominated Europe when it comes to European football. They are even the best team, not one of the best teams. They are currently the best team in Europe football, and so it's a beautiful one seeing Putelas back and also beautiful team, beautiful game of football. Let's just see how much Zambia can contain them and not concede as much as possible goals.
All right, that is Shegelo. You've had him. I know he has analyzed his food. He has actually analyzed it, sat down, thought over it. But that is good. Anyway, in football, anything can happen.
Right.
Anything can happen.
Right.
Yeah, right. So we'll be expecting them because we brought to the match. We had the Zambia singing, "It's a miracle day. It's a miracle day. It's a miracle day." Yeah, we had that song, and we hope that miracle will happen today. And also, it is Adeyemi. Adeyemi is not an animal octopus, but Adeyemi human being octopus.
Disclaimer. Good morning, Sheikh. Good morning, the Gaffer. And it's another beautiful day to talk sports. And the Gaffer, whenever you say anything can happen, if 9-0 happens, it's anything.
It's anything, of
you
course.
have to just balance it. And the reality of things here is, if you see the Barcelona Femina, they can defeat 8-0. And those teams they defeat 8-0, on average, are better than these Zambians. So when we look at it holistically, it's a supposed to case. But I don't want to be a prophet of doom. You know, we have to just try to encourage our ladies, the fellow African ladies. But at the same time, we are on the world stage. So when you prepare well, you get the desired result. When you do well, you will be rewarded. So it's Spain's game to lose. But we just hope that they don't humiliate Zambia.
All right, they don't humiliate Zambia. This match has been played at the Eden's Park in Auckland, a 50,000 capacity stadium, with the referee Hyun Jong-hoon from Japan and the Zambian coach Bruce Wampe, 63 years old, who has been the coach of Zambia for the past 5 years, and with Spain coach is Velda George Rodriguez. You know, what are we expecting today, Shegun?
Well, I'm not really putting much expectations on the Zambians, because if I tell you I'm expecting anything from them in this game, I must be lying to you. The reason I'll be expecting from the Zambians in this game is to just showcase that they are also in this game, because we saw what happened in the Germany versus Morocco game. Even though there were a lot of expectations on Morocco, but we saw how it ended. And here we are talking about Zambia against Spain. This Spanish team is a very good, refined team. And when you look at the coach, just like we had in the Spain national team male team, this is a coach that is very used with these girls. He has been all his life. He has been coaching what they call Spain women, right from the under 17 to the under 20 to the under 23, and now to the Spain senior national team. So he's used with at least 70%, if not 70, 100% of these girls, because he has been Spain coach and senior team coach since around 2015. So he's used to these girls. You look at the longevity. You look at how much he has played with these girls. Ad Putalas, as Moso Bonetti, these girls has been one of the founding girls of this good Spain team. So the continuity is there for the Spanish team, and you can see it from their passes in the first game, the way they stink passes against Costa Rica, that this is a team that they know how to play with each other. And you look at the starting 11 he has. He picks the player. 10 of the players are playing between Real Madrid and and Barcelona, with just Hermoso, who is playing in Mexico. So nothing really much I'm expecting from from Zambia, because technically they can't match this Spanish team. Maybe it's just be an offset. We were talking about miracle the other time. Well, the only miracle that happened here is Zambia not conceding more than 5 goals in this game.
You're right, Zambia not conceding more than 5 goals. That would be a miracle. And 8 minutes into the first half, and it's still goalless. We can see the Zambian side. They just relax back at the defense, trying to break all the attacking prowess of the Spanish side. Will that tactics work for them today? Let's wait and see how it goes. Oh no! And Spain almost scored.
Has been Spain doing most of the calling in this for the past 8 minutes. Reminds me of the game against Costa Rica when they sprang about 100 passes under 12 minutes in that game.
Oh, and you can see it is Brandra. That was a big shot.
And these are chances she should be taking, because these are one of the little chances you get against a good side. So when you get all these chances, you look at it, this is almost the same problem they had against Japan. Playing with just one man up front.
And there's no support.
No supporter for her up front. So it's just about getting it right and hitting the target right. A goal for Zambia here will really, motivate them and boost their confidence.
Of course. That's just of course. Of course, it will motivate them.
That goal might not come.
See, as far as I'm concerned, I'm not writing people, but I like to be objective with things. If Zambia score 1 here, they can get 9. I'm serious. Because
that is Spain on the attack.
Can you count how many chances that Spain has just created in the first 9 minutes of the game? Now we are going to see there's still energy for Zambia defense to mark. You remember what?
What a goal!
Against
wow, that was against
enough.
The goalkeeper wasn't expecting that. She was
rooted
to her spot. Wow.
Wow, that was a
goal, yeah. And this is just the beginning of it. 9 minutes. 9 minutes.
All right.
All right,
okay.
right now it is the 9th minute.
They lost their first goalkeeper. This is their second choice goalkeeper. Okay, let's say they lost their, because I remember Solomon was supporting, it was against the first choice goalkeeper at this World Cup, was shouting at the other day that their first choice goalkeeper is not around. This is
their third choice now.
This is their third choice.
So
when she saved the penalty that day.
Yeah.
Oh, so how she can cause it. Wow.
That was a
this goalkeeper brought camera.
All right, this is Premier Sports Fan Center.
She wasn't expecting that.
Premier Sports Fan Center. Don't forget to subscribe, and you can send your live messages to us, and you can also call us to be part of this live matches. And our number remains 090-304-99917. And those calling from outside the show, you can add 234-90-304-99917 to be part of this show.
And to be fair on Zambia, this is their first outing at the Fifa Women's World Cup. So it's not, we are not trying to make this of them, but we know that subsequent ones, they will grow into the tournament and they can become a force to reckon with. But for today,
when you look at the passes that Spain spring amongst themselves before that goal, you see how good the Spain team is, and
fluid.
That is what they bring to the game. Just like the male team, and it's one thing about the pattern Spain play. When you look at from the Spain national team to the under-17 to the 20, same thing with the female team, they play almost the same pattern of football, and that has really worked for the Spanish national team, and that's what we are seeing today. It's a game that Zambia will be running, pursuing the ball for close to 90 minutes today, and it will really be bad for them because by the time they are tired out at around 30 minutes, then the flood of goals will actually open.
All right, the flood of goal will actually open. Let's quickly look at the starting line-up of both sides. For the Spaniards, we have Albaleria, Battle O, Bonatti, Cordente, Carmona Garcia, Hermoso, Ivana, Misa, Prololo, Paredes, and Putellas, Alexia Putellas. That is the number one when it comes to the ranking of FIFA right now.
Wow, she might not get it this year because last season she had had time with ACL tendon injury, which took her out for close to 10 months. I think she only returned against Chelsea in the semi-final, unfortunately against Chelsea in the semi-final of the Women's Champions League. But you know, they say one thing they say is class is permanent. And you can see it in her. That is why she can come back from 10 months injuries and you still see her in the national team. And even in Barcelona starting level, and still doing it like she never left. That is how good she is. And at the point, and Moso too was like that. I remember when both of them were still young. Moso is now 33 years old. I remember when she was still in her 20s, how good Moso was. And at the point, we were always having Putellas and Moso. We just know one of them was going to win whoever the Ballon d'Or for the female team. So it shows that it has been a work. It has been a work in progress. You know, it has been a long time coming for the Spanish national team. And Bonetti is another fantastic winger in this team. You see her play for Barcelona and you know that this is a proper footballer. And at times you look at that Barcelona female team and you ask yourself, are these girls, are they really ladies? Are you sure they are not guys? When they play football and you can see another crossing into the Zambia. That's second goal in the 12 minutes. Yeah, and that's the most wow.
Goal!
Zambia didn't actually get them angry. Because when you score teams like this first, they come out with anger.
Wow, that is Amoso. Good one for her. I was just talking about her now.
You talk about Amoso, she created the first assist for the first goal. And that is the first goal in the 90 minutes. And now the 14 minutes, she's the scorer.
I remember when she was going to that Mexico and I was like, why is this lady leaving Europe and going to Mexico to play? Because I was expecting Chelsea to actually come out for her that time. A very beautiful footballer and good at what she does. That's when you look at her and Putellas up front, you know that you are in a lot of trouble. No matter the country, no matter the club, then you know you're in a lot of trouble. The only club that has answers to them there was Olympique Lyon. Because they too, they are fantastic female squad.
Wow. And a little bit of Wolfsburg to give them the run for their money.
So apart from the starting lineup I just mentioned, now, is there any player you think you want to talk about?
You know, when you talk about a team like Spain, both their first team and their second team, they're a very terrible team to play against. And when you now look at it, with the way the competition is going, competitions like this, you need your strong bench. And when you talk about it, you know that, for instance, there's Codina playing for Barcelona. There's this lady too, there's Luna playing for Barcelona, Real Madrid. And there are other ladies too there that can do the damage. This team is just like, for me, it's just star-studded. And if they can get their heart together without ego or sentiment in the team, if they're together in one spirit, I think they are one of the favorite, one of those 5 teams that should win this World Cup.
And don't forget they'll be trying to actually win all the female football this year because they are the defending champions at the under 17 level. They won the under 20, the one we actually broadcasted here, under 20 female World Cup. Here's the senior national team. And don't forget, you look at the crop of that under 20 players. Most of them, they are not even here already, because you have players like Vicky who plays for Barcelona. That's another fantastic player, a good replacement for either Putellas or Mosso when they retire. And you look at the crop of talent in that Spanish national team. They're just
they are investing.
They are just about when are we going to actually dominate the world football. And the only problem they'll be having is on United States of America and Germany. And they are looking the way they are looking this year.
Not just Germany, even England.
England is mood. England is mood. That's my problem with them. You expect them to actually bring their A game in the game,
and they
just turn up with Z performance that day. So it's England is actually a mood. But when you look at this Spain team, there's no doubt everybody knows how good they are, the way they play their football with so much fluidity. There's no boring moments for the whole 90 minutes. See how lively the game is in 16 minutes. I just hope the Zambians will actually be writing themselves off in this first half, because by the time they're writing themselves off and don't see themselves competing in this game anymore, then we'll be seeing like 8-0.
All right, the assist for the second goal was by Putellas Alexia. That is the lady you just talked about. That I say she's no longer on the FIFA top ranking.
No, I didn't say she's no longer on the FIFA top ranking. But she's current world best. And this
you can see.
The third one that's offside. No, it's not. Okay. She's still the current world best, but I don't expect her winning it. The next one I don't expect her winning it, because you can't be missing for 10 months. She hasn't had a lot of football in her pocket this year, so I don't expect her to win it.
All right. So far we have seen it. Let's quickly look at the lineup of the Zambians. Well, first of all, we have Banda Brabra, then we have Banda S, we have Balamu, Kotongo, Kondananji, Lungo, Mapepa, Mosese, Wemba, Sakala, Tembo. That is the lineup for the Zambian side.
Pronunciation.
Yeah.
The only name there is the only suspect there is Banda Brabra. That is the only good person you can actually look. And you can see that the team is.
They are all good.
They are all good players.
Good
player. That's the only good player you can actually look at.
The only known name.
That's the only exception.
The way the team is actually built around that. If you follow Banda from the beginning of her career, playing the under 17 at the age of 14 years old. So she has been there for long. And you can see the way the team is actually built around her. Yeah, she started at the age of 14. Because I don't know why you are actually doing that. But that's the age she gave us. She started at the age of 14. So she has been there for long. And it's not just her. How about Rashida Ajibade also started at the age of 14, years. And you can still see that she's so young in the senior team. But that's her side. So I'm not really expecting much. Like we said against the Japanese side, if only Zambia can have about 3 or 4 players like Banda Brabra, it will have been nice. But don't forget, even the giant of Africa, when it comes to female football, Nigeria, we can't even. I doubt if we can stand this Spanish team. So it's not like we're actually overhyping Spain or trying to downplay our way. We already talk about Leeds United, that no matter if they are losing 9-0, they still come around and play their pattern of football. That's what I expect of them. Play your game. Don't feel like losing is actually the end of the day. Yes, it's your first competition. It's the first time at the FIFA World Cup. It happens. Even when Nigeria went to the first one, we know how much we suffered. Same thing Cameroon. And even Morocco, that are actually good on the African soil. We saw what happened against Germany. And 2-0, that was how they went down. This same Zambia, that was how they went down 2-0 against Germany. and they picked up and got two goals, and next thing the game was 4-3 or 4-2 that day. So anything can still happen, but not like Zambia winning this game, sure.
Not like Zambia winning this game. And you see, after the match, when the coach of Spain was interviewed, Rodriguez Vilda, George, he said his team, he was not even happy. He said his team wasted more chances than they scored. And that match has a record-breaking issue. That is, it is the match that has had the highest shots on goal than any other female World Cup. She had 46. No team has had that before.
I was expecting massacre against Costa Rica that day, because when I first checked when I was watching the match, the first 10 minutes, there's how do you spring 100 passes within 10 minutes against the team? Then within 3 minutes, from 20 minutes to 27, within that 7 minutes, 20 minutes to 27 minutes, they scored 3 goals, and they just closed office. Went on a skill riot against Costa Rica. So that shows how good this Spain team. I love the way he said it, that he expect they could have scored more goals. Because yes, there are teams that you don't expect to be wasteful like that against. You can't be wasteful against the United States of America or against England and expect them not to actually take advantage of it against your team. So the earlier they start scoring and start putting their chances into the net, the better it is for their in arming their sharpness. So I think that's what the coach is trying to tell the players. So you don't have to be wasteful and not want to take your chances.
And I think that looking at the way Japan went to riot on this Zambia. And they are currently on a +7 goal advantage. So Spain will be looking at it that, they won't want to be in the situation whereby they are second on the table and they face a very difficult side in the next round of the competition.
So now they have 3 goals to top
it. They need
3 goals. Yeah.
They need 3 goals to top that, and they'll be licking their lips that maybe they can easily take Japan to the cleaners, but they're looking at the male World Cup with what Japan did to their male counterparts in last year's FIFA World Cup, the first Bahania World Cup, and they want to say, okay, let us do our job against an opponent that is sure, because against this Zambia, to be candid, to be realistic, they can score as many as 6 to 8. Because when you concede 2, when your defenders are still fresh, and it's not as if you are not now coming out to play, they are still dominating the play. They are dominating the direction of the game. So in these kinds of conditions, I find it hard to believe if Zambia will be able to come back.
Talking about that dominance, that is one good thing for the Spanish national team. Their recovery time is 8 seconds. They lose the ball just for 8 seconds.
Imagine.
Once the ball is out, within 8 seconds, they're getting back that ball on their feet, which is very good for a team, because you don't stay without the ball for long, and it helps in actually dominating possession.
And that reminds us of this man's team that died. This their coach that won them the FIFA World Cup 2010. This is practically they dominate the play. When you see Xavi, Iniesta in the midfield, when they pass you around, when you are chasing the game, you begin to lose strength. When you are in control of the game, you keep strength because the ball comes to where you are. But when you are chasing the game, you chase the ball to control of the game. That's why they can tend to play like this for 120 minutes. They will hardly get tired because the passes will be going to where they sent it.
Wow.
So
a fine control from Barbara. We should be able to catch that out.
That's too much. There's too much weight on that ball.
That was a fine chase control. Yeah. All right. After the match, Bruce Mwakpe, the coach of the Zambian side, he said the result did not go the way they wanted it. Against Japan. He said the result did not go the way they wanted it. But he said the Japanese side, they were focused, they concentrated. He also gave it to them. And he said they were able to hold the Japanese. Their first goal came towards the end of the first half. That is 43 minutes. 43 minutes towards the end of the first half. They were able, but he didn't know what actually went wrong. But they were going to correct it. They were going to, yes, he said they were going to correct it in this match. and see what will come out, what kind of result will come out. So
Yeah,
is he reflecting?
They are correcting.
That's
collecting.
him coming out to say that the 5-0 was this or that. The result was a reflection of the game. We hear that we saw the match, and we saw how much the transition between the midfield and Zambia attack wasn't working. The Japanese defense actually, they actually cornered Barbara in that game. And when you're taking Banda out of the Zambia national team, when you're able to contain her, there's nothing you expect much of the Zambian team. Even in this game, we've seen them, all they're trying to do is all ball to Banda and see wherever she can come up with, which is actually very wrong. So I think him talking about the Zambia game, about the Japanese game against Zambia, I think it has to be on the onus of the coach, because it shows how much tactical incapability he has about when it comes to technicality. Even as good as Nigeria is, we don't even build our team against one person. Talking about as yeah. So it's not, you don't try and build your team around a player and think it's going to happen. No, we saw it in South Africa also when they tried to build their team against around Tabita, which actually backfired against Sweden also. So it's about them just trying to play their game, play it in a team way. There's no way you are winning this game, but play a team football. Let the world know that you are actually good and up to the task, and you're a work in progress. That's what really matters most.
And to be candid on the Zambian coach, you can only make do with the resources at your disposal. And when you look at a team, what gives birth
Wanda Brava wishing Bill! What a miss. Another shot off target for Banda.
What gives birth to your approach to a game sometimes is the resources that is at your disposal. And when you look at all this team critically, look at all the players, which one is close to Banda? Most of them, they are not close to her. So it's just left with fewer choices and just to build the team around her. But what they should be doing now is to bring up more talents, bring up more new talents that can actually share the burden. In Nigeria, over time, we've shared the burden around. There's Onebie, there's Azizat, there are other ladies that will share off the load. Now, there are ladies like Deborah now coming up. They will also take off the load on the aging players too. So it's just about springing up more talent, more talent. Zambia needs to go and dig deep. You cannot look at the Spanish team they are playing against. Look at that goal, well struck by Teresa. And look at Musso is there. There's Putellas, the current World Player of the Year, and some other ladies. There's Bonetti, the lady from Barcelona, Femina. There are a lot of ladies here that can do the damage. So when you make your team very difficult to play against, when you have a lot of Banda Barbara, they most likely kill off the morale of the game for the Zambians. But when you mark out Musso, there's Putellas. When you mark out Putellas, there's Bonetti. When you mark out Bonetti, even the number 4 can come and score. So you make your team very difficult when you set up your team in a way that there are a lot of players that can do the damage. So it actually.
I think the problem.
And from the information, half a dozen of Barcelona players that are in this squad.
Of course. It's even more. It's even small.
It's even small.
The whole Barcelona team can actually make it to the Spanish starting level.
A chance for.
Talking about that is one of the reasons we always beg the question of African countries with leagues, because with female football. So it's about African teams actually developing